who's gonna do the intro today?
Apparently you are, since it just started.
Okay.
Welcome to Dungeon Dumps.
So
Stop.
we last left off. Everyone was jumping down into the, but basically the drain platform that was lowering down to the lowest level of the temple of Shar.
So it was a gas station bathroom.
It was a gas station bathroom. For a quick recap of what happened, actually I'll say this, we now have our final and fifth player here tonight. Russ will finally take back the reins of Ruse.
Ruse bucket.
He'll probably die.
Definitely.
Definitely. So if you want to give a quick, just a little recap of who Ruse is, his class, name, everything, and then maybe like a little quick quip about what he is about.
Talk about your penis fingers.
Yeah, Ruse is a changeling, rogue assassin hybrid. He's all about the bluff. So he likes to talk his way into situations, BS his way into situations, and usually it goes horribly wrong in the most beautiful possible way. But that's kind of his MO when it comes to assassinations too. Is he likes to infiltrate using his amazing bluff skills, as well as his ability to change his features and disguise himself. The party currently doesn't know that Ruse is a changeling, although Meryl kind of has seen more than...
Seen some glimpses.
Yeah, seen some glimpses of weirdness going on when Ruse does his wiggly arms move.
His penis finger move.
So that's what Ruse is all about. He's got a bit of a past too, but that hasn't really come out much.
Does he have daddy issues? Because I think everyone else does.
He's got mommy issues.
Awkward.
How many names are you up to now?
Oedipus Rex
I stopped
condition.
counting, but
Yeah.
I think 5 or 6.
Okay.
He goes by Malcolm,
Yes.
Reynard, Manfred, Fox.
Douche.
Everything but his actual name.
He goes by Fox.
Yeah.
Lucius?
Okay, so we started out the
thinking of
last
Meryl.
session with y'all, after just beating the trap room, y'all came in, y'all fought some
Slippy is the man's
undead.
name.
There was a little bit of an encounter with a door at the beginning of the session, but y'all handled that pretty easily. Y'all always seem to kill my favorite monster the fastest.
Instantly.
But y'all wiped them out, and y'all proceeded to chase after Caloral's clay scout into the next room, and that's where you faced the Shar under priest and his just basically Fantasia style bloodletting that just drowned the floor in blood as y'all fought vampire zombies, all kinds of crazy, Skittles made his
Yeah!
I pray that we can eventually bring Skittles back one day.
Technicolor Dreamboat.
So, we, like I said, we left off where everyone was jumping down into the platform as it was lowering. So what I want is...
Old Vane needed a little help getting down there.
Yeah, he had to get a little kick in the butt from Volthrun. So as it's descending, everyone's kind of getting themselves together. You all know that this is going to be a pretty serious battle. Whatever is down here, this is the end of it all. This is the resolution of it all. You know the portal is here. You know the ritual is happening here, and you are going to face the man that was your reason for coming.
The end of it all at level 4.
At level 4. You even back in the beginning when you were all just contacted by the Harpers, you were all brought together because you wanted something, and you were given a mission. You each had one thing, and they said, we can help you get that if you stop this from happening. Let's see if y'all can do it.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. So,
Whatever.
as you're descending, Jack, you know that based on the way that the platform is sinking and the weight it is, and you can tell how deep you are in the earth. I mean,
Yeah, I can.
You're a dwarf.
Balls
You're
deep.
not quite balls deep yet. You will be in just a little bit.
He's a tunnel pirate.
You know that it's probably going to take about 2 or 3 minutes for this platform to reach down to where the center of all this, earth turbulence is coming from. All the vibrations, all the earthquakes, the center of that force is probably 2 or 3 minutes below you. So you're all just kind of standing around. You're all getting kind of prepped. And so what I want to do is, this is your time. This is your time to say anything that your characters want to say to each other before it happens. I mean, you don't know if you're going to make it. If you want to say anything to Volthrun, if you want to talk to Splug, everybody's here. Everybody that you've brought with you to this dungeon, you're all finally back together in this one last 3 to 4 minutes of peace before the storm. So that's what I want.
Stuff is getting serious.
It is getting serious. So I'm going to start with, since it's newly returned, I'm going to start with Ruse and say this is his time to talk.
All right, well, Ruse, the last few minutes was a little fuzzy to him. He didn't sleep really well the night before, so he's a little muzzy maybe. He's just kind of sitting down, taking stock. He's sort of preparing all of his daggers and making sure his poisons are ready and all that good stuff. And he kind of gets up after a minute and goes over to where Meryl is sitting, and he just sort of sits down next to her and says, Meryl, this is a little awkward for me, but I just wanted to say.
He's trying to
get the spoon. She stops you. She goes, it's okay. You can tell me.
I have penis fingers.
Hey,
no wet willies from you.
we got 2 minutes. I just want to make it happen.
I was like, he's gonna do the typical
3 minutes.
We're about to die.
We're
about to die. So
you're the only female,
and I can extend my penis.
No, he just says, he says, look, I think we're all just in this for what we can get out of it. The Harpers all have something we want, but I just wanted to let you know that if you die, I'm gonna be really sad.
Oh, that's so sweet. In a weird kind of way. In a morbid kind of way.
Wolfane looks like he's puking on the inside.
Mushy stuff.
and sort of privately, Ruse really likes Meryl because Meryl kind of reminds him of someone from his past. But he
hope it's not your sister.
But
dun dun dun.
He really is an Oedipus complex.
He couldn't really. He wouldn't really ever be able to say that out loud. But,
I thought we were trying to fight the redneck persona.
Yeah.
Nope.
Ding 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 ding.
All right, I roll this here dice and move right up on here.
Roll Tide.
Roll
right up on there.
My barbarian shouts his battle cry: War Eagle!
War Eagle!
I whip out my lawnmower and I crank it.
It does 2d10 slashing damage.
So that's all. We're just gonna chat for a minute with Meryl.
Meryl, he talks to you. So what do you say back?
She kind of lets it soak in a little bit. She was pretty much thinking the same thing. She's really got found a good companion. Stop that. Not giving out an HJ. Stop.
Hey man, she can throw him a quick handy. It's cool.
We're in public, so.
I guess
Anyway.
Kyle could have gave out goat jobs list.
Oh my
God.
Anyway, and she has found a companion in Ruse and feels she can trust him, even though that's completely false.
I don't know why.
You bluffed it.
Make a bluff check.
You can trust me.
Chicks dig jerks that are scared of spiders. She just kind of returns the same feeling and puts a hand on his shoulder, and they just kind of discuss different things.
Ruth says, "Please don't crit me in the upcoming battle."
Just don't stand next to me. I can't promise anything.
Well, Ulvain, you're seeing all this going on, and you said you kind of have a reaction of kind of an uneasiness about you. So, what? Expand on that a little bit more.
How do you brood this time? A 1 or a 10?
20!
None of that! That's it! None of those no more tonight! None!
Uber
You
brood.
can have 18s, but none of those.
Jared just rolled a 20 on a brood roll. Maximum broodage. Please.
He's a rude lord.
He's brooding so loud we can hear it. We can hear the ellipsis.
You can actually see like fart clouds of angst and shadow just radiating from
You can feel, like Ruse can feel tendrils of bitterness digging into his ear. But
I hate everyone.
But yeah, Ulvain slightly overhears the conversation between Ruse and Meryl, and at the sound of mushiness, Ulvain gets the sudden urge to puke in his mouth, but resists it, and then goes back to using his whetstone to sharpen his swords. And pretty much he's super concentrated. He's not speaking at all, not really making a lot of movements except to sharpen the edges of his short sword. And he's focused, thinking of his own mortality. Pretty much, but not in the altruistic sense, but in a way where he realizes that if he dies, he's not going to have his vengeance on his parents, and understand why. So he's really focused on making a big escape out of this, if you will.
Okay. Well, Brennan, you're the most recently added character to the group, the youngest also. What is it like
Smartest.
being
Yellow-
the smartest,
Dumb
yet
smart.
dumbest member of the party?
Is anybody here? Kick open a door.
Yellow steam rises out of his pants.
What's your wisdom score, by the way?
It's 8.
-1.
Hey man, it's just, he's a punk kid, but his intelligence is really high.
So
So he could win on Jeopardy.
yes,
But he wears a shirt that says "Anarchy in the UK."
There you go.
I'm what's stupid.
Actually, Brendan, he realizes, that they may actually not live through this, and so he's kind of reminiscent of his father, and he kind of, thinks a little bit in his head, like, thinks about his family, and also he's looking through his spell book, trying to, get some spells together real quick, last minute preparation. And he remembers that there was a torn page in his spell book, and he looks at it, and he reads it real quick, and actually the torn page talks about the little backstory in the spell book. He actually, when he left the wizard school, he stole this from the headmaster. So this is actually the headmaster's spell book. So since the headmaster was like really, really old dude, the torn page is like half a page for hair regrowth. And so he actually looks over at Jack and says, "Hey Jack, Brennan says, Jack, I have half of a spell for hair regrowth. If we live through this, would that be something you would be interested in pursuing? I've kind of grown fond of you through our adventures, in a gay way."
Are you a pedophile?
But he doesn't say that out loud.
how old is Jack? I forget.
65.
Okay, yeah, you are the oldest and the wisest. So this is a
Yeah,
fun.
I'm
This
the
is a fun
oldest.
conversation.
Yeah.
The youngest and dumbest with the oldest and
I thought
wisest.
Ulvain was the oldest.
Yeah, Ulvain's like
He's a little
178.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you cheese with the drow age. That's
He's
right.
not really the oldest.
Yeah, but 178 in Drow years is like
Yeah.
17.
Yeah.
They're
He's still
really
listening
young.
to Drow Link. He's still listening to Drow Linkin Park.
Drowning pool.
Slowly getting.
Drowning pool.
That was awful.
I see what you did there.
Please do that again.
I was gonna say slowly getting in Evanescence, but Drowning Pool blew that one.
Yeah,
out.
drowning.
Oh dear.
Yeah, so Brennan will turn to Jack and he'll ask him if he's like, if we live, I may be able to help you restore your hair.
Then Jack has no reason to go on
Lift the
ever.
curse.
His hair is his driving force. Oh, this luscious log. See you guys.
I'm out.
Done.
And then we lost our defender. Our only defender. Way to go, Brennan.
He just spends all day in the hair salon.
Staring
I
at
want to
mirror.
try new styles.
His weapon becomes a mirror instead of a
mirror.
pickaxe.
He becomes a shampoo model.
Hey, didn't Brennan go down in the last session?
Mhm.
Well, so like, has he ever been like that close to death before in a fight?
No.
So like, how did that affect him?
I don't know. I think he was, like I said, he's like really
A little
like,
shaken.
Yeah. Well, he's like really reminiscent of his father right now because the whole reason that he joined the Harpers was to gain reputation so that his father would love him again, would accept him back. And so I think that's like all he can really think about. And then
We all have parental issues. Like that was not even a joke.
driving force, man.
It is a parental issue because it was handed down, inherited.
I don't blame my parents though. I want to remove the curse and find the one who cursed.
That's true, but they're the reason you have problems.
Well, but dwarves are used to that.
That's how
What
life
dwarf
is,
doesn't
though.
have? Yeah, like
All have
father
I guess-
or a mommy
so-
that did
ancestral
something
problems.
stupid.
So here's the
Brennan,
lesson, kids.
yeah.
Be good parents because you don't want to have kids go off in crazy adventures because they don't have any hair.
For Rogaine.
Don't have any hair.
So yeah, but Brennan
Well-
Brennan will make that offer to Jack.
Jack, before this happens, has been drinking some ale, trying to get himself into a mental state of preparedness for the upcoming battle, which he could never do sober. So he needed a...
Gotta get loose.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like how, wrestlers will loosen up and limber up and everything. He just drinks some ale and his body naturally just gets ready for combat.
Or so he
But-
thinks.
Well, I mean,
Jack
if he ever
primes
fought
himself.
sober, then, better beware. He probably would be 10 times better.
You're actually level 13. You're always drunk. So it's level 4.
I always think I'm fighting 20 more enemies than I really am. So as he's drinking his ale, Brennan begins to speak to him, and so Jack kind of sees this gleam in Brennan's eye when he talks about restoring hair, but all he really hears in his drunken haze is half hair and dwarf, and he was just thinking, what is so appealing about a half-haired dwarf?
Are you making fun of me?
So he almost gets mad for a minute, but then he remembers that this punk kid really needs a role model. So he just looks at him and says, just stay behind me in the battle. We'll get through this okay. Because he remembers how he went down, and Jack has literally never been hit hard enough to go down, and so he has no idea what that feels like. And
Alex is over there.
hey,
Challenge accepted.
I'm throwing
Stay
the challenge out there.
Stay behind me.
Yourself.
Murder.
Kill Jack.
You're just making your hand hover over the paper. You're not really writing anything down.
Jack says stay behind him in the heat of battle, and Brendan goes, easy!
Oh, I'll be right behind you.
Flame jab.
I use
No.
magic missile.
Sphincter Titan.
It always hits.
Except when it misses me. Alright.
Okay, so we've had a nice little, like our little elevator moment, if you will, onto the final boss.
Our hidden loading screen.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, yeah, Mass
Um,
Effect.
As we're all kind of sitting there talking, you see Volthrun and Splug kind of sitting in the middle of the platform, and Volthrun's going over his last few notes. He's just kind of scribbling something, kind of mumbling to himself. He still doesn't look 100% after the assault on his soul by the Shadow, probably by Shadraxel himself. So he is definitely necessary for you to close this portal, but it's going to take all that you have to support him to get this done. You can tell in his eyes, he looks tired, like he could give up at any moment. And then, of course, Splug's just Splug. Smooth-tongued goblin, craziest thing you've ever seen, top hat and monocle, just trying to do his best. You've won him over. For whatever reason, he seems to be enamored with your group, especially how you treated his captors. So it's quite a little ragtag group you've assembled here as you descend to this tube. Finally, in the last few seconds, you can start to see some light coming from underneath this grate that you've been sitting on. But it's like this odd purplish, almost just sickening feeling light that's just coming up towards you. If almost shadow and light could somehow mix together and create something unnatural is what you see.
It's like slag from Borderlands.
So, as you descend into a nightmare. Crimson streams spill from above and around you and flow down into the central chamber, and there's a giant pool of blood below you.
Sorry, the
Are we
Crimson
being-
Eruption just came back into my
I
mind.
was about to say, are we going through the birth canal?
I was thinking that Ulvain probably feels a lot more at home here.
Probably.
Probably.
It's like his living room.
So,
There's blood everywhere.
It's the same decorator.
As you break, crap, I can't say it now. It's just all I can think is birth now. I was gonna say as you burst forth from the
As you birth forth
from the
chasm.
from the,
You arrive naked
Yeah.
and crying, except for Ulvan.
oh, my goodness.
Brooding.
He's crying on the inside.
So, like I said, a foreboding purple light just illuminates and fills the whole room as you descend right into the middle of it. I mean, you are descending right where this drain was, and there's a giant pool of blood below you as you drop down. On the far side, you notice that there's this huge, yawning black portal that dominates that whole side of the room. There's huge talon-like shapes that strain against the portal as if darkness were a thin film restraining some beast or some giant dragon behind it. And there's a set of blazing runes that have been inscribed on the floor before the portal. And in fact, I'm going to go ahead and flip this over to show you.
Yeah.
So,
revealed map.
Reveal the map. So you descend down
In the
into this middle area where the blood pools the greatest. Here you see to your left, if you will. So we'll say that is west. So on the west side of the room, you see the yawning black portal and the magic runes inscribed on the floor like a giant magic circle, glowing with blue energy. To the east, you see that steps that lead up to a platform where a small pit is flanked by two small little demon statues. So I'm gonna reorient this one. I actually meant to say the north. So at the north, you have a pit that falls down, surrounded by two dragon statues, two demon statues. The place where your eye is drawn the most, though, is to the east. Yeah, thank you, Kyle.
Trying to keep it consistent.
Where another set of steps ascend to an altar of bone. Dang it. Altar
Wall
of
of
bone,
bone,
flanked by wide pillars, and you see a familiar human clad in heavy armor and carrying a skull-capped rod stand behind the altar. His eyes are closed and a book rests open before him. He chants a low, droning prayer to Shar, the mistress of night.
What a douche.
We have never met him before.
You met his spectral
shade.
shade.
Oh.
At the
form
bone.
dragon
Yeah,
pit.
I was like, we never met him.
Yes, he had a conversation and talked to him.
Yeah, I remember talking with him, but I don't think we ever met him.
So, you have
This is
descended
astral
down.
projection.
I'll show you my
into-
astral
Which was
projection.
really strong.
Yeah.
It could hover.
We pwned it.
Could
Yeah.
hover chest.
So you see
Skeletons.
Calorel standing up at the altar, and littered about the room,
Lord Bane.
he has these skeletal guardians wielding long swords and crossbows, protecting all the sites of power that you can tell in the room. You also notice that, as I stated earlier, the portal, you can feel like the dark, demoralizing, just complete depression of energy that's pouring out of this room and out of this portal. And as I said, you probably want to be careful in this area as this ritual is coming to a close, and as I said, the barrier holding him back is not quite strong enough as it used to be.
So there might be like a debilitating aura close to that area.
Possibly could. So, let's see. Let me get these finished.
I like you put a top hat and mustache and monocle on our
I-
goblin
I-
butler.
I had to.
You have to have it.
Goblin butler.
He's a butler
It's the
now.
only way we can distinguish him from every other goblin in the world.
Where did he find that stuff in this dungeon?
The monocle?
Yeah.
Those are everywhere.
What?
Had you ever played a Castlevania? Just kill a floating eyeball.
Yeah. The fat goblin chieftain had it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah.
He's also got the overcoat with tails, but no pants.
No pants.
So, as you descend, your platform lowers. You're all in combat readiness. I mean, you're ready to just lash out. And you see Calorel standing up at the altar. You know, his arms stretched out, and he's praying, and his eyes are closed, and he's just shouting at the top of his lungs. And all of a sudden, you just hear him finish. and he looks down at you and opens your eyes.
Slow clap?
I cannot believe that you made it this far. Who would have thought such fools could beat my minions? Sorry for you, though. You're too late. And you see him extend his hands back out, and the portal and dark energy connect with him, and you just see a tear start forming in the blackness of the barrier. At the same time, you see a giant beam of shadow just pierce out from the portal and strike Volthrin.
Oh no!
Just strike right into him. Again, a similar scene as you saw at the beginning where he kind of raised up into the air, his eyes completely filled with shadow and blackness. He raises up again and he just screams at the top of his lungs and lands down and looks up to you and shouts words of magic at you.
Dang it!
Roll initiative.
Roll initiative.
Betrayal.
Ruse poops a little bit.
Meryl smells a little bit.
Is that a free action?
To poop yourself? I think it is.
We hear a slight plop sound.
Yeah, roll crap
Fans.
initiative. Woo!
Ruse now has the duty slosh.
The dude.
The duty slosh.
Yeah.
Really, Jared? Really?
Another 20?
We just started. You already rolled 220s.
Oh, I said there was no more of that.
Hey,
Hey, I rolled a 19. I
Rolled
obeyed.
a 20 as well?
yeah.
I rolled a 3!
I rolled a 7.
This game is crap!
Flipping the board isn't going to do anything except for probably break my phone.
I think your initiative
I need a
bonus
new one
is one
anyway.
higher than
Go
mine.
ahead.
It's 7.
7, yeah, mine's 6.
Mine's 2. I'm special.
Okay.
My initiative is 5.
Let me...
I'm going first!
Okay, who's got the highest initiative?
Me! I got 5.
Jared.
27.
27. All right.
Awesome.
So, Fullbane. Who's got next?
26.
26.
Ruse does.
Who's after 26?
21.
All
For
right.
old Jacker.
37, 37.
And I have Meryl has 19.
Okay.
Brennan has 5.
So, you had 21? Nice.
So you instantly die.
Jack had 21.
Brennan will not die.
Instant dead.
He'll pull the
How
gauntlet.
many healing
As
surges
a
do you
free
have?
action, he'll
Meryl,
pull the
what was your
gauntlet
initiative again?
butler in the way.
What was your
19.
initiative? 19?
We need you making Arcana checks, man. There's a bunch of Arcana stuff.
I will
down here.
Arcana.
There's a bunch of Arcana-y stuff.
I will Arcana check the crap out of everything.
Did Volthru not get a saving throw for whatever just happened to him?
Unfortunately, no.
Because he gets a bonus for standing next to me.
Only when he's bloody.
We're standing in
He's not bloody
blood.
for whatever happened to him earlier?
No,
We're
he's
standing
not.
in blood.
We're
standing in a pool
We're
of blood.
standing in blood, so
He
he's got to
is
be bloody.
Oh, crap. Technicality.
Okay, that means everyone who stands next to me this encounter gets bonuses.
Yeah.
Because we're all bloody.
Brennan, what was your initiative again?
Instant saving throws.
Dead gum, it's awful.
I got that 5, man. It's glorious.
We're fighting a Sith Lord.
Alex, what
Darth Bane.
did you describe the statue that's over on the east?
The
Yes.
statue on the east is basically just an old, like an ancient source of power, like a demonic statue that has powers stored into
The
it.
demonic Megado?
Kind of.
It looks
there's
like-
no. It basically was brought here. It has no ties from anything that you can see. It has no ties to Shar. Nothing along those lines. It is basically used here as it's pulling energy from some other source.
It's the battery.
Yeah, it's a type of battery.
It looks like Goldar from Power Rangers to me.
I was
It does,
actually
doesn't
just
it?
I was actually just about to say, hey, maybe Brennan can go by there and activate the demonic Megazord.
I'll pull out my little dagger. Jump in the top.
Tyrannosaurus.
No. Okay, so to get a little bit of housekeeping in line so that the mechanics and everything will go smoothly, no text messages. So, as a part of this encounter and this battle, there will be a simultaneous skill challenge.
Sounds like fun.
Hey, actually, we get an action point after that last battle, correct?
Yeah, we
Yes,
should
everybody
start
should
with an
have
action
one.
point.
I think everyone had an extra one from something already, so I think technically several of you have two.
Well,
but it
I think
won't
I had
matter.
used all mine.
So okay, so you at least have one action point. In this skill cat challenge called Closing the Portal, it will be basically using your skills and your knowledge of religion, arcana, and healing, and
None of which I have.
to counteract what Calorel is doing long enough
You don't have heal?
No.
to close the portal.
I got 2 heal.
You're a leader.
Whatever. I got streetwise.
In a sense,
I grew up on the streets.
in the streets.
I can't heal you wound, but I can find the bakery for you.
I could find the bakery.
We'll put
So-
some icing in it.
This portal is opening, but it is in no way stabilized yet. So there is still a moment now that you have to hold back and keep it from opening fully, at least long enough for Sir Draxel to come through.
Yeah, but old Volgay is
Voldum.
possessed now, so how's he going to tell us how to close this garbage?
You'll have to figure
We gotta
that out.
smack the
I bet.
You
essence
are
out of him.
intelligent.
Yep.
You are an intelligent wizardy
Whatever.
arcana guy.
You never played a
That you
JRPG.
talked with this old guy
You
several
hit the
times.
confused person and they become unconfused. It's
Possibly.
simple.
Yeah.
Wolvane, when we get back to
Use heal.
Just don't let Olbane hit him. He'll
when we get back to
instantly be
Winterhaven
killed.
or wherever that place is, when we get back, I want you to poop in his other sock drawer.
Poop in his underwear drawer.
No, Ulvain's just gonna pull a thing like the Green Mile where he sucks all the sadness out of him. Because he eats it.
He eats it. It makes him more powerful.
So,
And then poop in his pillow.
Just pull
Okay.
on him.
so this is going to be
Squish!
Trying to make Olvane
Why am I
magically
still here?
What?
Nothing.
this is going to be 8 successes before 3 failures.
We're going to fail because we have one person that can do any of that.
You can choose.
Let's see.
You can
1, 2,
choose
3
or not to
failures.
choose to participate in
I have
the
really high
stabilizing slash
healing.
What does it
destabilizing.
take up? A standard,
Okay.
a minor?
Religion and
Or-
Arcana.
Let's
I have none of that.
For an Arcana check of a free action. So on your turn, for a free action, you can make an Arcana check to help close the portal or figure out what needs to be done to keep the portal from stabilizing.
Can Ruse lie to the portal and convince it that it's already closed? Or convince
For-
Draxel that it doesn't want to be here.
For
after
an inordinate check,
We don't have any cookies here. Go
I
home.
might grant a confused bonus to the next person that rolls.
Confused.
Where Draxel is so caught off guard that somebody gets like a +2 on their next check. If you want to pursue that, but it will not be a success. Okay,
Confused. We accidentally hit ourselves.
a heal check can be made as well. And you will have to take a minor action, and if you're successful, you will spend a healing surge and to infuse this portal with life energy to help fight off the shadow.
But you did.
I failed that skill already.
What if
Yes.
we fail?
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you that.
Yeah.
We get stomped by a shadow dragon.
You can also
we die.
use your knowledge of religion as a free action to close this portal.
You got any of that?
No.
You guys are glad Brendan's here
The-
now, aren't you?
This is the extent of Meryl's religion. The Bible's a book, right?
I checked the guild. I have no healing surges.
There's gods, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you don't.
No
So-
healing surges, so you can't even
can't
help
even do
close the
that.
portal.
Nope. So, now you can always attempt a check of some type. They are free actions, Arcana and Religion. I'm not telling you what the check is. If you succeed, I'll tell you succeed, because if you fail, there might be some consequences.
That's
there might
tough.
not.
Use thievery and steal some.
Look.
Draxel's balls.
All we have to do is take out all the enemies in this room, and
I don't want to go there.
that's all we got to do.
That is.
We'll
always
hear
a possible
a chime, a door will open, and we'll leave.